Well, I'm back from California, and I brought some swords back with me. I thought this is a perfect opportunity to make a sword unboxing video. Let's get to it. So how did I transport these swords? This is a rifle case. I've got two of them. I picked them up at a sporting goods supply store in California. No questions asked, of course. And actually there was one question when I checked in at the airport. When I checked these in, they're packed free as carry-on, no, as checked-in luggage. They could not be carried on, and that's kind of ridiculous to think that. The agent at the check-in counter said, "What is it?" And I said, "Swords." And he goes, "Mm-hmm." And I said, "Yeah." "Okay." And that was it. That was the only bit of hassle I get from this. We still have the EVA stickers from Taipei, Chiang Mai. Got the little tag here too, which doesn't really help much. We'll get a look at this closely later, but there's a little cable lock on here. The way the thing locks is there's a little tiny, can you see that there? Let's see, a little hole in the case from both sides of the case. The clamshell soot. It's just a little piece of plastic. Somebody could cut that easily. And this, of course, somebody could cut the cable easily. It's mostly to keep honest people honest. Let me set it on the table and we'll take a look at it. Now, I've forgotten exactly which swords are in this particular box, so it'll be a little bit of a surprise for me too. Let's schneid through these here and get to the action. The default setting for these locks is 000, and let's see if I can get it back to. Again, I didn't set a special combination for these. But there it is, 000, pops right up and pops right out. So let's see what we have in here. Oh, notification of inspection. They actually did pop it open. Thank God for the government, huh? And the swords are still in there. These are the Japanese swords. I just wrapped them up with some. By the way, these rifle cases, when you squeeze them together, it really immobilizes the swords or guns or whatever's in it because of the compression between two foam rubber things. But I just had some more trouble with that. This is an antique wakizashi that some old friends gifted to me. It is mume. There's no signature on it on the tang, and it's basically a very common collector's item, wakizashi. The other one is another story. I did have the blade inspected at a sword fancier's club, and they read in May the signature that's on the tang, and the tang mentions that there's a the sword was made in, I don't know, 1430 or something like that, but they use modern numbers in the tang to describe it rather than the year of the dragon, the reign of King so-and-so. So that indicates it's sort of a Frankenstein blade that may have been initially forged in the 15th century, broken and reforged later on, probably in the Meiji era. And then it was cut down for use in the 20th century, let's just say. Most of this stuff was, this was in terrible shape, and I redid the hilt. This is the original Tsuba, new scabbard. Most of the fittings are new here. Yeah, this Vashirai here is new. These are new. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I used the old one of this, and I'm just trying to remember which parts are original. I did use this for cutting back when time was, and it took a set when I was doing that, which was probably a mistake. So it's kind of comes out of the scabbard a little bit hard. I want to give you the full effect of this blade here. It's a little short for a typical katana because it's been shortened for use in the Second World War. But it's lovely. It was polished very nicely. Let's see, a guy in Portland did the sharpening, the polishing, and the re-hilting, and the new scabbard. I'll include his name and website in the description below. But let's put this away. Let's look at the other one. So let's take a peek at what we have here. And let's get this down to 0, 0, 0. There we go. Oh, it's got to be 0, 0 on the other side. Just a matter of perspective, I guess. There we go. That's all. And like I said, on these gun cases, they're just a little hole with some plastic, you know, and you could probably cut that open if you're in a desperate hurry. Speaking of desperate hurry, let's see what's in here. Well, surprise, surprise. Got my certificate from the government. Covenant Aviation Security, LLC. Got a little scanner ID number and stuff like that. Gosh, really official. There's a lot of foam here. Let's see. What comes out on top is a long sword. I'm going to cut this away here. Show this just more in detail later. This is an Angus Trim longsword. You could call it a longsword, you could call it a bastard sword. I call it Nightmare. It is a Type 13. Angus Trim made there's a little defect here in the blade. I don't know if I caused that or whether that was original. But he's got these triple fullers here that have been filled in with paint here. I think that's a really cool mark. The basic handle that came with it, the hilt. Angus Trim typically mounts these with a I think it's a socket head screw in there. Allows you to take apart the hilt and so on. And that's nice touch. Although if you're really strict about authenticity, you can probably have these peened. I did put shagreen or race skin on the hilt myself. Not a really bad job, if I say so myself. I would have liked to wrap it with a little leather to replicate a Japanese sword. Let me show you really quickly why I like it. So I sort of combine studies of longsword with the studies of the Japanese sword, and this fills my bill perfectly because it's about the same weight as a katana, typical katana, 4 or 5 pounds, about the same length, and the hilt is not too far off either. If I can grab my cat real quickly here. Yeah, the katana's been shortened a little bit, but as you can see, lining these up side by side, they're about the same length. right? Of course, the European hilt's shorter, and overall, they line up pretty closely. And I think the Japanese sword is a little bit lighter. The Angus Trim is about 5 pounds or so. So, what else would I say? I haven't made a scabbard for this. I'm not sure if I will. I'm not sure if I'll keep it. Reasonable offers are welcome in this case. It's a hell of a cutter though. It actually cuts almost as well as the katana. Let's look at the other European sword quickly. So this is a sword that I bought when I was doing a Viking reenactment, and I wanted a cutter. And so I wanted something approximately in the Anglo-Saxon, Norman, Viking time period. And this is actually another Angus Trim. The Type 10. Yes, I did make the scabbard on this, and it's sort of my pride and joy. The coloration I included sort of in my Middle Earth Ranger period to sort of bring in something that was, you know, camouflage and subtle like that. There's a little hex key back here for loosening tightening the hilt. That's how it pops in. Nothing to it. Actually, yeah, anyway, there should be a little slot in here in the scabbard where I think they took that out when they were inspecting it. It goes into these little slots that I made here. Anyway, let's look at the sword. Again, this is a Type 10, single-handed. It's probably about 2 pounds. Very handy. It's a good cutter. I've got some cutting stories to tell about this thing, and I'm really impressed by its nimbleness. If you're looking for a sword, look up Angus Trim. He's still making swords. He may be retiring soon. There's plenty on the market. Warning, they're expensive. The fit and finish is really decent. I mean, it's all, excuse me, it's all machined on a CNC machine, so it's all very precise measurements. Some people don't like that. They like to have it forged or something like that. These can be remade with you know, more authentic hilt components. This handle is authentic, I mean original to the manufacturer. And I do like it. It's very handy and light, and I might just keep it. I also packed this is a replica Stone Age arrow that I won in a archery competition. It's starting to fall apart here. I won the archery competition mostly by being the only guy in my age group, and so I won by default. But this has all been hand napped, and I thought I'd keep this as a memento. Well, that has been my little presentation of my sword collection here in Chiang Mai, Thailand. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more stuff, I suppose.